Well, here's the thing. First of all, I'm surprised I'm surprised. Um, Second of all, it's worse than death because you can't control death. I feel like we could have controlled this to some degree, get ahead of it a little bit. There were warning signs in the past. We're not going to get into that. I think, talking to some coaches around the country, John Smith said it best, you're going to fight. And this country is going to get it done because I think there's 10 international Olympic sponsors, I think, and 6 of them are United States based. Does that mean it's automatic? No, but maybe that's a starting point. There's a lot of things that go through your head, and anger is probably one of them, but that doesn't get anything done. So what you do is you gather information. Mike Novogratz, he was a team leader for freestyle, for the freestyle team the last 4 years, last 8 years, been very involved, and his response was on par with John Smith, and that's fight, but do it the right way. I remember, in 1980 or whatever, 1979, we didn't have the internet, but I found out pretty quickly what the pinnacle of the sport was when I started wrestling, and it was the Olympic Games. What we have to do is we have to become unified as a world. It sounds corny kind of, but wrestling is third in the number of medals won in the United States behind swimming and track. It's ahead of gymnastics. It's ahead of every other sport. And in the world theater, if you want to call it that, there's diversity. There's all kinds of arguments for. My point is keep it in perspective. Let the people that are going to take this to battle take it to battle, and the United States and these countries that all feel the same, being ambushed, need to unify. So a lot of questions yet to be answered, and I have a lot of questions, you have a lot of questions, and the best thing I can tell you is we fight in an educated, unified manner, and the United States has to lead the charge. We have to with our resources. The signs were there. Subtly, it's easy for me to say now, of course it is, but we got to fight. We got to fight, we got to right a wrong because it's a wrong. And you can talk about the pureness of the sport, and you can say that's a drama, Romeo and Juliet, what do you call that? Just a sad song, but it's true. It's true in the sport of wrestling. I think it says that they made a mistake, and there's no doubt about that. And I don't want to go down that path either because it's like you don't ever pick a fight with a wrestler. I'm not saying that. But I don't know that the response would be quite as vocal or as much of a tidal wave as other sports being dropped. And I am not downplaying, these other sports either. It's not necessarily what's wrong with wrestling, but okay, now we're in a battle, and I think wrestling is something has shown that it's something to be reckoned with more so than other sports. I'm saying that wrestling is in competition with other sports. Find a way to be all-inclusive. All right, don't make this a Title IX thing. I said it's like Title IX in 40 years ago where, let's do something that's good. It was an injustice to women. I am a huge advocate for Title IX, but Title IX the right way, not at the expense of men. And so why an Olympic platform? Why at the expense of wrestling? Why at the expense of modern pentathlon? Why not be all-inclusive? Let's figure out a way to be all-inclusive.
I feel confident about the whole situation. It's the world's oldest sport. I mean, it's in the Bible. It's almost every single country has wrestling. So I think it's something that, the people of the wrestling community are going to be outspoken about it, and the world, America, whoever you are thinking of is going to know that this is a sport that we want to keep. I mean, right now I'm focusing on my season, of course, but taking that out of the picture, I have one Olympics right now ahead of me, and I can't look much further than that. I got to do whatever I can to get where I want this next time around, and then after that it's time to start to think about it, but obviously they decide before the 2016, so it's something that the big governing bodies, I think, will have a lot to say about.
At first I was a little upset about it, more thinking about 2016 being the last year. The young kids that are coming up through the programs and their goals are to be Olympic champs, at least I still got one shot. I still got one chance to win my gold medal, do what I got to do, and if I don't accomplish it, at least I had a chance, and it's my fault if I don't get there.